All right, Alan. The film Rust, starring Alec Baldwin, is out. It is a western. Of course, the movie was, it's controversy is attached to this because, of course, there was the accident on the set, um, where the cinematographer for the movie was shot. Um, but the movie is now out in theaters for everyone to see. I don't know. I would feel a little strange, kind of like when I remember seeing The Crow and feeling, knowing that Brandon Lee passed away uh, because of an accident on the set. Seeing that movie added a whole new weight to it. Um, this movie, of course, is going to have that same kind of controversy surrounding it. Seeing The Dark Knight, knowing that Heath Ledger passed away because of, you know, issues with misprescribing drugs, whatnot. Heath Ledger passed that added more weight to this. I don't know, her passing away. I know they settled, so the family is it has been compensated. Of course, nothing can compensate the death of a loved one. But the movie is here. I hear it's a standard Western. Alan, I don't want to say you took a bullet going to see this movie and reviewing it,
69.
but I just said that.
Yes. There you go. The joke. You got the joke out. All right.
Alan, tell us about Rust.
Okay. The story of Russ is about a 14-year-old boy named Jacob and his, I would say probably 8 or 9-year-old brother. They live in their family home because they live alone in their family home because their parents are no longer with us. Jacob has to figure out how to survive as a young boy living out on a farm in the West. He needs money to buy supplies, so he sells one of his horses. He sells all his pigs, gets a little bit. And while he's at the store selling these things, a bully comes along, bullies his brother. Jacob grabs a heavy piece of wood. I'm going to call it a bat, but there was no baseball back then. And he just kind of wails away on the kid. The father tries to basically kill Jacob. The store owner likes him, likes Jacob, splits him apart, and just says, "Get out of here." So now, because of the actions Jacob took, he is indebted to the landowner whose son he beat up. And he needs to work for him, and he's going to come the next day and collect him. The next day comes, there's a wolf out on the prairie. Wolf's going to destroy the farm. So he takes his gun, and in an ironic twist, while hunting this wolf, he accidentally kills the landowner who is coming to pick him up by accident. The people, I know it's weird. The authorities come in, the sheriff comes in, arrests Jacob. Jacob is convicted and tried and convicted of murder, and he is to be hanged in 3 days. The night before he's to be hanged, he is rescued by an old man. Guess who plays that old man? It would be the main character Rust, and it's played by Alec Baldwin. He takes the kid and he's going to send him. They're going to travel to New Mexico so that he can ultimately go to Mexico and escape the law once and for all. Because he broke him out of jail, and because Russ killed a bunch of sheriffs, deputies. Now they're both on the run. They are being chased by a U.S. Marshal and his crew, and there's $1,000 bounty out on them. And so now they are being hunted by bounty hunters as well. And then that's kind of where the movie becomes your typical Western. And I'll say this: let's just say the movie's cursed.
Well, let me ask: is
yeah.
Like you always had in your head someone actually died during this movie? Does that taint the movie?
Not only did someone actually die in this movie, but the person who was responsible for it is in over half the movie. This is not a bit role for Alec Baldwin. He is a producer on the film. He is also a co-writer on the film. Which explains why this movie got released anyways, because I'm pretty sure Alec Baldwin wanted the movie released and was going to do whatever he wanted, whatever he had to do to get it out there. And like I said, the movie is cursed because otherwise, if you just take the movie as it is, what's thrown up on the screen, it's not a bad Western.
Mm,
It's got the right thrills. It's got all the elements there. It tells a thrilling story. There's oh my god, the gunfights. There's a lot of gunfights in this. Ironically, um, and Baldwin is not bad. There's a large cast here of good actors who do their roles admirably, and so um this falls in line with a lot of the westerns you see out there. Westerns are popular. My Chinese dad, every time I go to his house, all that's on the screen is either football or westerns. That's how much
mm.
he's into westerns. And this certainly has all the elements to it that it checks all the boxes for a western, and quite frankly, it's not that bad. It's not great. I've seen Silverado way too many times. It's nowhere near that, but it's a good mid-budget western. um yeah, Alec Baldwin is in a lot of the movie.
So do you recommend it?
Yeah, I do, but the caveat is you just it's unavoidable.
Mm.
The controversy of this movie is unavoidable from start to finish. And then of course they have the little title plaque at the end,
Well,
for
yeah, I
Helena.
want to ask, in the movie, do they acknowledge what happened, and do they say that a portion of the profits of the film will go to the family? Like, what does it say?
No, it says for Helena,
And
and it
that's
says
it.
something else. Yeah, and
Literally
there's
for
something
Helene.
else that was inconsequential. Just about just about the who she was. It was a paragraph about her to honor her, and that was it.
Okay, but nothing like to go to a website for gun
Yeah.
safety. We've
I'll
seen a lot of
I'll be honest.
more.
I'll be honest. I didn't stay to the end to see if there was an end credit scene about that.
Well, a lot of movies these days, I really notice it when it happens, because it happens like, if you've got problems with mental illness, go here. If you have issues with,
Mhm.
SA, go here. Here's help. Here's a phone
Yeah.
number. More and more movies are including a public service announcement. This might have been an opportunity,
Yeah. Well,
to
to
learn about gun safety,
yeah, I mean,
just
you're
a
right.
thought.
You, I think if it had acknowledged the situation and the tragic nature of that situation, that would have done, it would have helped the film. It doesn't do that. Um, like, and as you say, if you want to know more about gun safety, go to the NRA website. That would have been nice too. Um, Here, while we're on the topic,
Yeah, please.
let me bring up a movie I reviewed, a documentary I reviewed a while ago. It's called Safe Sets: Dying to Work in the Film Industry. This movie is kind of bookended by Rust.
Hmm.
The movie starts with the tragedy of Rust, and then it kind of at the end of the documentary it goes through what really happened, or what they consider really happened. A lot of people are blaming the armorer, but what this movie does, it just shows that producers of Hollywood movies don't care about the people who work for them, and often they put actors, stunt people, and crew in danger because they're trying to save money. And the implication that this movie says about Rust is that the armorer was pulling triple duty, meaning she had three roles behind the scenes in the movie. And the day the accident happened, the armorer wasn't what she was. She wasn't there to be the armorer for the day, and that
Mm.
because there were guns on set, she was quickly brought in to make sure safety was. And if you know anything about safety, you don't rush safety, and that's what happened. Safety got rushed, and yes, the armorer got convicted of the death. But what the movie brings up is that the producers got away scot-free, and
Mm.
they were essentially liable for an unsafe set. That's what the documentary is setting up here, and that it their point is that it was a shame that it was just the armorer who got convicted for the death, and that there should have been more people who should have known better to have been held responsible for the tragedy that occurred on the set.
Well, I'll say this, and I'm definitely not going to defend people who work on sets and have 7 jobs. But indie film is a lot like that. When you're making an indie movie, people have multiple jobs. I mean, you and I talk about it all the time in
Mhm.
Film Thread. You and I wear a lot of hats and do a
Yeah,
lot of things. Of course, there's nothing that what we do
it's
that
gonna
could
get someone killed.
endanger anyone. So I say, we wear a lot of hats, we juggle a lot, but the movie's not looking good. It's on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How
No
many
audience,
reviewers, by the way?
20 reviewers.
Okay.
Are you? I don't know if you did a review.
No, I haven't. I'm doing that this afternoon.
Okay, cool. Pete Hammond did a review and gave it. Well, he's giving it a recommend. That's strange, but 50%
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes for Rust.
Yeah. I mean, one thing about reviewing is when you look back 25 years from now, no one's going to think about the accident when they see if someone happens to watch the movie at the time. And so you really you are owed the at least to the filmmakers to review what is on screen and not factor in things that happened off screen.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, Alan, you took a bullet on this one.
Yeah. And got I got pasta out of it too.